You can smell it before you even see it. Sweet smoke in the air. Red chilies hanging like lanterns. And beneath them, rows of pork belly and sausages slowly darkening into that deep, glossy color that only time can create. Welcome back to Factory Flow. Today we are stepping into a traditional Hunan-Style workshop where smoked cured pork belly and cured sausage are made the old way: salt, spice, airflow, and gentle smoke, turning fresh pork into a winter staple that can last for weeks and taste even better as it ages. This craft was born from one simple challenge: preservation. Before modern refrigeration, people needed a way to keep meat safe and flavorful through cold months. Hunan did it with curing and smoking, building layers of savory, sweet, and fragrant heat that cling to the fat and sink into the lean. The result is not just preserved meat. It is an ingredient with a signature aroma that can transform a whole pot of rice with only a few slices. The process begins with selecting the cuts. For smoked pork belly, the goal is balance. Thick belly with clean layers of fat and lean. Too fatty, and it turns greasy. Too lean, and it dries out before the smoke can work its magic. For sausage, the blend matters even more. You want lean meat for structure, plus diced fat for that juicy bite when it steams or fries later. Next comes trimming and preparation. The belly is cleaned, squared, and sometimes lightly scored so the cure can penetrate evenly. Sausage meat is cut into small pieces. Never just mashed. Because traditional cured sausage is about texture: visible cubes of meat, visible pearls of fat, and a firm, satisfying slice. Now the cure. The step where flavor becomes destiny. Salt goes first, because salt is the backbone of preservation. Then come the Hunan signatures: chili heat, warm spices, and a touch of sweetness to round the edges. Many makers also use soy-based seasoning and rice wine for aroma and depth. Everything is mixed and rubbed in thoroughly, not rushed. Because curing is not surface seasoning. It is a slow exchange between the meat and the air. The meat rests, and time starts doing its work. During this stage, moisture begins to draw out. The surface becomes tacky, which is exactly what you want, because that tacky surface is how smoke and flavor cling later. The meat is turned and checked so the cure stays even and no area is left untreated. While the belly continues curing, the sausage line starts moving. The seasoned meat mixture is loaded into casings, long tubes that will shape the sausage into its final form. The key here is packing density. Too loose, and you get air pockets. Too tight, and the casing can split. Then each link is tied, measured, and spaced, creating neat rows that are ready to hang. Now comes the most iconic moment: hanging. Belly slabs and sausage links are lifted onto racks or bamboo poles, suspended in open air. This is not just for tradition. Hanging creates airflow on all sides, helping the surface dry evenly before smoking begins. Then the smoke. This is where the entire workshop changes. The fire is not meant to roast the meat. It is meant to perfume it. The smoke is kept gentle and steady, thin, consistent, and controlled. So it builds flavor, without turning bitter. You will often see the makers managing the smoke like a musician controls volume, adding fuel, adjusting vents, watching color, feeling the air. As hours pass, the transformation becomes obvious. The belly shifts from pale to amber, then to a deeper mahogany. The fat becomes slightly translucent at the edges, like polished wax. The sausages tighten and firm up, their surface smoothing and darkening as moisture slowly leaves. This is the moment when the meat stops smelling raw and starts smelling like Hunan winter. Smoky, savory, and faintly sweet. After smoking, drying continues. This stage is quieter but just as important. The meat must reach the right texture, firm, dry on the outside, but still rich inside. Too wet, and it spoils. Too dry, and it turns hard, and loses its silky fat. So the makers keep checking, touching the surface, judging firmness, watching color, and letting time finish what smoke started. When the curing is complete, the product is ready for storage and for cooking. And here is the secret: smoked cured pork belly is rarely eaten straight. It is used like a flavor engine. A few slices can transform a stir, fry, a pot of greens, or a bowl of rice. Often it is soaked or rinsed lightly, then steamed to soften, then sliced thin. The fat melts into the dish, the smoke blooms, and the chili, spice aroma rises instantly. The sausage works the same way. Slice it, and cook it gently. Steam it. Stir-fry it, or add it to rice. And it releases its oils and seasonings like a built-in sauce. This is why these cured meats are so powerful. They do not just add protein. They add depth. So what you are watching is not simply meat making. It is a preservation craft built on precision, cut selection, curing and seasoning, resting, stuffing and linking, hanging in, controlled smoking, slow drying storage, and finally, cooking that unlocks everything. Now tell me in the comments, if you could taste this right now, would you go for the smoked pork belly first? Or the cured sausage? And how would you eat it over hot rice? Stir. Fried with garlic shoots? Or folded into noodles? If you enjoyed this traditional process tour on Factory Flow, hit like, subscribe, and tell me what you want next. Salted duck eggs? Soy braised street food? Or another deep dive into old world preservation techniques?
Make sure it's packed tightly. Yes, sir. I'm almost finished here. Make sure they're hanging straight enough.
Yes, almost done here.
Good, the air needs to circulate.
Ý đặc biệt tàu như cái này cả bên đằng đấy nữa hả?